Hi, welcome to So Code. So in this code sample of Powerapps, we want to create this kind of chart. Although there's already a chart from the controls in Powerapps, but sometimes you just want something different and you want to create your own thing. So we've got this database. This is the data we're going to be using, and let's get into it. So I add my data source, which could be anything from a Google Sheet, SharePoint list, SQL Server, and even a collection, wherever you're pulling your data from. So I brought up the sale table. So you do your interface. Let's put this on speed because it's not actually required. I mean, it's just the interface. Yeah, so we're going to be using gallery. Just follow me this video. We're taking off the default and we're using the table. So that could be your collection, could be your table as well. Yeah. Sales 2025. Yeah, so we've got the data pulled out. Yeah, I'm making use of that. So what we'll be doing is to use a button as the bar. You could actually use any other control, like rectangle will work very well. Label will work. Button will work. You could even use a collection control. Container control, it will work. But I've chosen to use button because I want us to make use of the hover effect of buttons. You know, the color changes, the overfill color changes. So what we're doing essentially is to determine the length of a bar by the value of that field. So let's make the width equivalent to the width of the button to be the amount. And you could see, because we've got a very large amount, 1600, that's a whole lot. So we could use volume, and the volume looks kind of short. So let's multiply this volume by, let's use by 5. Yeah, you see that it's actually extended and it looks better than before, than the excessively long bar or the excessively short ones. So, and really there's no formula to this. There's no special way to this. You could just we could actually do a formula to determine the values you are expecting, and use some multiplication arithmetic operations to reduce the value or to extend the value, as the case may be, so that you don't have a bar going out of sight. So that's why we've applied that formula there, to kind of regulate the data we have. To trim the data we have, and of course the output is still going to be excellent. So font weight semi-bold for everyone. Okay, let's make it just bold. Right, so basically that's it. We've done the whole thing, but just to make it look like a typical chart that you find in in data analysis software platforms like the R, Power BI, Tableau, and the rest of it. The reason for this is sometimes you don't just want to use the conventional controls or tools that are available, but you want to go a bit more into giving your users some other level of appreciation of their data. So let's make a tooltip. Character 13 is a new line, is the ASCII code for new line. So you see how that has come up. Product is TV, amount, and all that. So do that by concatenating values and the chart 13. Chart 13 is enter, is equivalent of enter key on your keyboard or a new line feed. So we've got that in place and looks pretty cool. Let's just do some few more. Okay, let's reduce this. One value there is actually going extra long. So what I would advise really is to in your formula try and find the highest figure on the lowest figure and look for the appropriate formula to adjust your chart, the length of your chart. And I think that's pretty easy. Just get the maximum of your values and minimum of your values, then you can decide whether to divide by 2, to divide by 4, or what have you. So we've got that TV. Okay, let's do. Let's change the color of these. Let's change the color. Let's make them carry different colors. For the conventional charts, you could use there's a function there where you can automatically change the control. The bar colors. Here too, we want to do something. So we want to do the RGB color, and we want to just randomize between 1 and 255, which is the maximum when you are using RGB color code. So we've randomized for each of the button. We've randomized the RGB colors, and you can see how that's coming out. Pretty cool. So let's do some more. Put this together whichever way you want it. So you want them close together, like I've forgotten what that's called now. But that's the basic bar chart. Cool. And you have, when you hover around, then we have our tooltip. Just as you have it in Power BI, you have it in Tableau. So we've got a bad color here. For sunscreen, it's not sunscreen, rather the randomized color that it has picked is not combining well with the text color, which is white. So that's one of the dangers of using this method. But of course, you can always find a way around that in your code by stating that, okay, if the colors, if the randomized color are between X, Y, and Z, then change the color to black or change the color to something different entirely from the base color. So what we want to do now is to put the values at the end points of the bars. So we want to put the values. Okay, it's the same label, pick label from the collection, and we're changing that to the actual value, the amount. So you could see that all of them are falling in the same line, but we actually want them to be on each at the tip end of each of the bars. So we make use of the length of this bar to know where the x coordinate ends. So we're going to be using this width, same value of width as the x coordinate, or as the x position rather. X position. So the length of the box exactly is where this value should be put. But because it's too close to the bar, then you just added 10 units, and you could see how fantastic that has come out. 1,600, 2,000, 1,950, 880, 3,500, and so on. Yeah, I think this looks really cool. If you enjoy it, give me a thumbs up and just try to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.